Do you have dreams? Are you pursuing your dreams? They all say, fulfill your dreams, make your dreams come true. Well, today's episode, we're going to be talking about the dark side of pursuing your dreams, what they never tell you. This is the Existential Stoic Podcast. I'm Randy. That's Danny. What's going on, Danny?
Sorry, I was going to suggest starting with Do You Dream?
Do you dream?
Yeah,
Sometimes.
yeah, occasionally.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sometimes. But
to
I
it or
think I think this is sold to people as like, if you're not satisfied with your life, it's just because you're not actively pursuing your dreams,
yeah.
right?
Well, it is, and I think about this a lot because I feel like there was this is a new phenomenon where like you chase your passions, what you love, your dreams, you live your best life. Because before it was like
Oh
your
my
life was
God.
kind of dictated for you. I know I hate that phrase. I
Every
just
time
hate
someone
it
says live your best life, I just want to shoot myself.
because it's not like I'm all for authenticity and stuff, but like it's not like, whatever. Anyways, besides the point. But yeah.
It's almost as if you could live other than the life that you're actually living right
Yes,
now.
yeah. And
It's
that's
like,
like
oh, you're not living your best life, you're living your like subpar life. Why would you do
you're
that? What's
just
wrong with
okay
you?
life.
And it's the most retarded thing ever because pretty much most people are trying to do the best that they can. There's
Yeah,
very few people I've met who are like, I'm actively trying to do the worst I can.
to make
But
this as horrible as possible, right?
yeah.
But yeah, but like
Hmm.
I think about this a lot because like that was a recent development, like in like I think the 20th century, that whole like chase your dreams, blah blah blah, all that stuff.
Hmm.
And before it was mostly like it was like either you had a gift for something and that directed you. So like if you think back like the Middle Ages or whatever, like if you were a good painter, like that might have like been something people just recognized or whatever, right? But mostly it was just like your life was determined by the context around you and your situation,
And I
and
think
you
most
made
of the
the
time
best
people
of
were
it,
just, yeah,
like if
people
you
were just
could.
struggling to survive.
Yeah.
It wasn't until like the 70s where we got into this world of overabundance. Up until then,
Yeah.
people were struggling to survive. And so, yeah, now all of a sudden you have to live
But
your best life. You have to be perfect at everything and blah, blah, blah.
well, that's the problem, right? I think is this idea of like the perfection of everything and everything you see online, like it's like always like these perfect lives, this perfect BS. And it's like people are whole people though. They're not just one thing. So like, it's you can't be perfect in everything. It's just impossible. And then I think the side thing to this too is that it's also, I think, causes depression and anxiety because, we have these expectations told us when we're young that like, live your best life, true your passions, all this. And so if we're not happy, we think something's wrong with us, or we think the system is flawed and broken because those things we were told didn't come to pass. And I think it's
Hmm.
really bad because it puts a lot of like uh, you know, that success of us on the externals rather than on what we control. Does that
Hmm.
make sense?
Oh yeah, and it raises the bar so much on what is acceptable, what is okay, because all of a sudden you have the only acceptable outcome is perfection, which is unobtainable.
Do you know what's yeah, and you know what's crazy? Like I've seen this in like I saw this in colleges a lot over the last like 8 years, and it got worse and worse and worse. Like as the years went by, like students like breaking down because they didn't get like 100 on something. Like it's perfect. Like first of all, and like you got an A. Like what is the pro? You know what I mean? Like it's crazy to
Yep.
me. But like because all they focus on is results instead of like getting there and like what you're supposed to be getting out of the process and growing and any of the other stuff that like that's us for.
So today we're going to be talking about what was the topic again?
Dark side of chasing your dreams.
Dark side. There
We
we
were
go.
getting
The
there. It just
dark
takes us a
side.
while.
Yeah. The dark side. Yeah, exactly. So there is a dark side to chasing your dreams because if you're chasing your dreams and you're not satisfied in the pursuit of chasing your dreams, that means you're never going to be satisfied.
Yeah.
Or if maybe you finally achieve your dream one day, you might be satisfied for a few days and then you'll feel this existential dread and emptiness and just what now until you have a new dream that you can chase and just be unhappy until you get that
Well, that's what I was getting at, right? That we've made it all about the product, not about the actual like, recipe, I
process
guess, or process. There you
journey.
go. The
Hmm.
journey. Yeah. And I
Hmm.
think that's bad though, because like you said, like, and we've suffered through this a lot, right? You get done one thing, you feel accomplished, and then you immediately have to find something else because now you have nothing to do. Or now you have no direct goal, right? And you're not pursuing anything. I think this is like it's good to pursue and grow, but it can also be bad because it becomes like a cycle of just chasing your own tail,
Hmm.
trying to be
Yeah, and it's
happy.
almost it's almost like people. don't accept doing things for the sake of doing it anymore. Like there are a couple of activities that I participate in on a weekly basis because I enjoy them. And when I do
What?
them,
You don't
I
make
know,
money
right?
from it, Joe? For
Go
real? You
figure.
don't make
Dude,
anything.
seriously. And so like when I'm doing them, people are always like, "Why are you doing it?" I'm like, "Because I enjoy it." And they're like, "But you don't want to do this, you don't want to get that thing, or you're not making money." And it's like, "Nah, I just
Yeah.
enjoy doing it." Like I look at it as this is the type of person I want to be, someone who does this, and so I do it. And they're like, "Oh, how dare you?"
Yeah. It's like, well, but that's how people think, right? If you're not earning income from it, if you're not turning it into income, I get that a lot of time from photography too, because I do love it. And I've toyed with the idea of sometimes trying to do it more like professionally. And
Hmm.
like I've had a lot of people tell me I should, but at the same time, it's like if I do that, then it becomes different than
Not
what it
fun.
is. Because yeah, I just do it whenever the hell I feel like it. And it's like a release and a break, and I really do enjoy it. And I'm sure I still
Hmm.
would, but like if it becomes work, then it's like then you're taking shots at stuff you don't want to because you
Hmm.
have to, or like this and that. And like, it's like it changes the activity a lot. And I'm not ready to do that to that activity.
Yeah, and plus, like one of the things I was doing, people were like, "But how come you're not, practicing at home? How come you're not doing the homework outside of class?" I'm like, "Because it's not that important to me. Like, I
Yeah,
just
this is
don't
not.
care. I come here because it's fun, and that's it."
Well, this is the thing, I think, right? Like this chasing your dreams, it makes everything about like this success and what you're gonna get from it rather than what you're doing. And you get in
Mhm.
this like chasing your own tails, like we said. I think the other side of it too is that it can also make you like too focused on one thing. And this goes back to the hobby thing, right? Like most people don't have things they do just for fun, like just to enjoy themselves, or just because they like it. It doesn't matter if they're good at it.
Mhm.
It's like, and I think we kind of have this system now where like everything's like, I remember reading a report that most Americans have no hobbies because after the age of, I think
Other
it was
than
like,
watching TV and scrolling TikTok
well,
or
that's what's
whatever.
funny,
Yeah.
right? Like, it's like if it's just sitting and vegetating, then it's like, yeah, they do that, but they don't have anything that they actually do for fun, where it's like gaining skills and stuff. And that also like transfers over to other things. Like those skills transfer. So it's still a good practice. Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know where the hell I was
100%.
going with that. I think I had a point, but I lost it.
Well, we were talking. Oh, yeah. And so here's the other thing is that, if you pursue your dreams, it turns, okay, so like back in the day, you were talking about how this whole concept of like, I forget, pursuing your
Like
dreams.
dreams, passions, yeah, best
Yeah,
life, all that
yeah.
BS.
All that stuff came about recently. Like before then, we were just struggling to survive. Very few people actually got to choose what they had to do because there was just no leisure time. And, but there, I've heard it said that like there's a difference between following your gift and like chasing your dream. Like your gift is something that you're naturally good at, that you're better at than everybody else. So like that's something where if you pursue that and if you do that, you're going to be awesome. Like that's why
Yeah,
Steve Jobs was Steve Jobs, and that's why Warren Buffett was Warren
it's
Buffett, and
something
that's
you
why
happen to
Zuck is
have a
Zuck.
talent for already.
Yeah.
And so you're just like, because you're going to focus on it, you're going to make that talent, it's going to make it easier, right? To get to like the level of
Yeah.
being either like really good or even maybe the best at it.
But it's not like if you're like a very good manager at Bed Bath and Beyond, even though I don't think they exist anymore,
I don't
being
know if they
like,
do.
but I really like underwater basket weaving and I'm going to pursue that with all of my effort. And then you find out there's three other people in the world who like underwater basket weaving and there's no money in it.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that a thing?
Don't know.
Because that would be crazy. You have 60 seconds.
Yeah, right. You got to hold your breath while you're
Yeah, do
doing
the whole basket at once.
it.
Yeah, it is funny though. No, I think you're right though too. I think that's, yeah, you used to maybe follow like what you were good at. That was a leading thing because it made it easier. But we've also, I think this problem with chasing your dreams is like, it's also part of this making life your whole, or making your whole life about what you do, your work.
Mhm.
And I think that's one of the things that's been so damaging to us in this time period is that like people don't do anything besides work. Like
Mhm.
there's like it's
They're
always
just defined by their job.
yeah, and it's like people work, they grind, right? So they're working forever, all the time, like trying to do all the,
Mhm.
and I think that's like one of the problems too, and that's why we don't have hobbies and stuff, because people are so focused on this, like, my work is my
Yeah.
life thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the saying that I was trying to think of was follow your bliss. I think
Mm.
it's like Joseph Conrad or someone. They this saying follow your bliss, and you're supposed to be like that's supposed to be your North Star. And it's like it just doesn't make sense many times because there are a lot of things that I get blissed out about that are not good. and
Yeah,
that
right?
don't make money. Yeah. And then like that probably would be better. So the concept of you're supposed to just blindly follow your bliss, it doesn't make sense in many cases. Um, it can be a direction, but
And I think
I
too,
think
it can also, well, following your dreams too, if you take that too seriously too, it can also cause you to like, if you're not really positive, make decisions that are detrimental to your overall life, right? Because like we've talked about before, like I mean, I think most people, if they really want something, they can do it if they commit themselves, you know, and that might mean like giving up everything currently in their lives, right, to do that thing. But hell, if you really want it, it is potentially possible, right? But if
I
you get
have I
caught
have
up
a
in
little
following, oh, go ahead, yeah,
I have a little mind experiment for people listening out there.
okay,
So I'm going to guess that if you take a look around your life, there are certain things that at one point of time you wanted them. You know, maybe things you wanted to buy at some point, maybe achievements you wanted to have, maybe a diploma, whatever it was. At one point, these were your goals. And you had this mental framework that once I get that, then I'll be happy. How long did that last for?
yeah, right,
Because yeah, and I think that's like one of the biggest dangers of following your dreams because yes, like dreams can be waypoints and you achieve one thing that lets you see further and you can go further than that. But thinking that that is the be all end all in itself is dangerous because once you get to the top, then it's like I've experienced this so many times where like you get to that point and then it's just like, what now? And
yeah,
just like this existential void, just you're like, I thought this was it, and
it's
yeah,
not it,
now it's not. It's not it. Yeah.
yeah. Well, I think that's it, right? Because the dark side is that you're making the whole quality of your life conditioned on one thing. And human beings are usually defined by many things, not just one. So it's like there's a
hmm
danger there. And you have to be careful in evaluating these things and balancing your life, I think. Yeah.
hmm Yeah. So I once heard it said, like, what type of things would you do if you were never going to be good at them? You were never going to receive any public acclaim for them, that type of thing. Because those are probably the things you should kind of aim towards doing, as opposed to things that you think you'll get some payoff.
Things that you just like to do for the sake of doing them. Yeah.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be well-rounded, right?
Oh yeah, it's this saying, if I had infinite money, already traveled the world, and had no fear, and didn't receive any recognition for what I do, what would I do or what would I create?
Nice. It's a good one.
See, that's a good one because it takes away like all those rewards we think we'll get from doing something. You
Which
know?
I think is a lot of times really the cause of why we're doing it, right? Which is
Yeah,
funny. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
That's a good one. I
It
like
takes
that.
away all. Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. So anything else for the
Yeah.
dark side of
Yeah,
whatever we're
dude.
talking about?
I have dreams, man.
Mhm.
The dark side of the dreams.
Yep. All right. Well, there you have it. That's all
Whatever.
for this episode. If you have other episode ideas, feel free to email us or post a note in the show notes, whatever, however you do it. You can
Something. Just
figure it out. You're
contact us
smart.
out.
If you don't know how to, just ask AI.
Yeah.
Anyways, until next time, this is the Existential Stoic Podcast. I'm Randy. That's Danny. I'll see you later, Danny.
Later, Andy.